whispering, terrified. If you are hearing this, do not take the job at St. Avelina's nursing home. I don't care how much they pay. I don't care if you're starving. Just don't. I'm currently locked in the supply closet on the 3rd floor. Something is pacing outside. It sounds like wet leather slapping against the tiles, and it's calling my name with a voice that sounds exactly like my dead mother. I broke rule number 3. I looked at the mirrors after 3 a.m. And now, I don't think I'm clocking out tonight. Let's rewind. 3 days ago, I was broke, desperate, and stupid. The ad on Craigslist said $35 an hour for an overnight caretaker. Easy money, right? Sit around, watch old people sleep, maybe binge watch Netflix. Manager, cheerfully, the job is yours, Jack. But St. Avelina's is unique. We prioritize the privacy of our residents, especially the ones in the basement. He didn't give me a contract. He gave me a list. He said if I could follow these instructions to the letter, I'd walk out with a paycheck. If not, well, he didn't say what happens if not. Rule 1. Rounds start at 10 p.m. sharply. Check every room. If a resident is standing in the corner facing the wall, do not disturb them. Just close the door and mark occupied on your log. Rule 2. The medication cart must be locked at all times. If you hear rattling from inside the cart, ignore it. There are no rats in this building. Rule 3. All mirrors in the hallway must be covered with the provided black cloth between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. Do not peek. Rule 4. If the elevator descends to the basement, B1, on its own, run. Take the stairs to the roof and wait until sunrise. I laughed. I honestly thought it was a hazing prank for the new guy. I took the paper, shoved it in my pocket, and got ready for my first shift. 10 p.m. First rounds. The place smelled of bleach and something else. Copper? Like old pennies. Or dried blood. Everything was normal. Room 101, sleeping. Room 102, watching TV static. Then I got to room 104. Mrs. Gable. The room was freezing. I could see my breath misting in the air. Mrs. Gable wasn't in her bed. She was standing in the corner, facing the wall. Just like the rule said. I should have closed the door. Rule 1, right? Mark occupied and leave. But human curiosity is a curse. I took a step forward. Mrs. Gable? I whispered. Are you okay? She didn't turn around. Her head pivoted 180 degrees. But her face. I slammed that door harder than I intended. My heart was hammering against my ribs like a trapped bird. I grabbed the logbook with shaking hands. Occupied, I muttered. Just occupied. I tried to rationalize it. A mask? A prank? The meds making me hallucinate? I hid in the nurse's station for the next few hours. I watched the cameras. Nothing moved.
Please,
but then,
you have to tell me
I
what's
looked
happening.
at the clock.
Please,
3
just turn
a.m.
around.
Rule number 3. Cover the mirrors. I had forgotten. I grabbed the black cloth from the counter and ran towards the mirror. I just had to cover it. Simple. But as I approached, I saw it. The reflection didn't match reality. In the mirror, the lights were off, and something was standing directly behind me. Its breath fogged up the glass from the inside. It pointed, not at me, but at my pocket, where I kept the list of rules. And then, for the first time that night, the intercom system buzzed to life. Intercom voice, distorted, visitor 4, Jack, basement level, please report. My blood turned to ice. Rule 4. If the elevator descends, run. I looked at the elevator indicator above the doors. It wasn't going down. It was coming up, and I was on the 3rd floor.
To the 3rd floor.
I expected a monster. I expected a horde of demons to pour out and drag me to hell. But when the doors opened, there was nothing. Just empty space. And the smell. That copper blood penny smell, but stronger now. Thick enough to taste. I didn't wait to see what was invisible. I remembered Rule 4. Take the stairs to the roof. I spent the rest of my first shift shivering on the gravel roof, clutching a stapler, waiting for the sun to rise. I told myself, I quit. I told myself I was done. Manager, calmly, rough first night, Jack? It happens. The building settles. Old pipes groan. The elevator sensors are faulty, we have a technician coming next week. I tried to hand him my badge. I tried to walk away. I saw something in the mirror, I said. And Mrs. Gable. Manager, interrupting, tone drops an octave, smile vanishes. Jack. Read your contract. Section 4, paragraph B. Early termination of the 7-day probationary period results in a penalty fee of $5,000 for administrative reprocessing. Unless you have $5,000 in your pocket right now, I suggest you clock in tonight. I was trapped by a piece of paper and an empty bank account. So, like a lamb to the slaughter, I came back for night 2. The vibe was different tonight. Heavier. I tried to stick to the routine. Head down. Do the rounds. Don't look at mirrors. I had covered them all with trash bags the moment I arrived. Tonight, my task was medication distribution. Rule 2. The medication cart must be locked at all times. If you hear rattling from inside the cart, ignore it. There are no rats. It was going fine until I reached the East Wing, room 205. Mr. Abernathy. As I stopped the cart, the squeaking stopped. But the noise didn't. It wasn't a rat. Rats don't hit with the force of a grown man. Thump, thump, thump. It was rhythmic, deliberate. Ignore it, I whispered to myself. Just ignore it. I grabbed Mr. Abernathy's pills from the top tray and turned to his door. Behind me, the thumping changed. It became a scratching. Scritch, scritch, scritch. It knew my name. I squeezed my eyes shut. Don't listen. Don't listen. I burst into room 205 just to escape the hallway. Voice raspy, terrified. Did you bring it? Your heart medication? Yes, Mr. Abernathy. No, not the pills. The meat. He leans forward, gripping the bedsheets. The thing in the cart. It gets hungry if you don't feed it by midnight. Did you bring the meat? My stomach dropped.
Can't face them like
There was
this.
no rule about feeding the cart. Mr. Abernathy, I said, trying to keep my voice steady. There's nothing in the cart, just medicine. You're new. You don't know. The pills aren't for us. They keep us asleep so they can work on us. Check your pockets, boy. Check the ones you don't use. I froze. Check my pockets? I reached into the back pocket of my scrub pants. I felt something paper thin. I pulled it out. A photo of me, sleeping, last night. Someone had taken it while I was unconscious. And someone, or something, had slipped it into my pocket without me feeling a thing. Whispering, they are marking you. You're part of the harvest now. The lock. It opened. I shouldn't have looked. But I couldn't look away. A hand. A small, gray, withered hand. Reached out from inside the cart. It gripped the edge. And then, it began to pull itself out. I slammed room 205's door and locked it. Mr. Abernathy started laughing. A dry, wheezing laugh. Locking the door won't help, he said. The doctor has the master key. I backed away until I hit the window. I looked down. 3 stories. Too high to jump. The doorknob stopped turning. Silence. Then, a piece of paper slid under the door. I picked it up. It wasn't a threat. It was a new list. Addendum to rules, it read. I read the rule. My breath caught in my throat. Slowly, agonizingly slowly, I raised my eyes to the ceiling. I didn't scream. My throat had seized up. The thing on the ceiling. It didn't pounce like a tiger. It dripped. Like thick white paint, it detached from the tiles and fell directly toward me. I rolled. I scrambled on hands and knees. Mr. Abernathy was cackling in his bed, clapping his hands like a child watching a puppet show. Feed it, Jack, feed it. I held the handle until the lock clicked. The wood splintered outward, but it held. I didn't stay to check on Mr. Abernathy. God forgive me, I ran. I needed a place with a lock. A place with cameras. The security office. The security office was the only room in St. Avelina's without windows. A steel box. I collapsed in the swivel chair, watching the monitors. My heart rate was 180. I checked my Apple Watch. It thought I was doing a high-intensity interval workout. If only it knew. I watched the hallway for an hour. Nothing came out. I tried to call the police. No signal. Of course. I tried the landline. Dead tone. I was alone. I kicked the floor in frustration, and that's when I heard it. Hollow. Under the desk, the linoleum tile was loose. A stash. Someone had been here before me. Someone who knew they wouldn't make it out. I pulled out the notebook. On the cover, scratched into the leather with a fingernail, was one word: Thomas. It was a shift log, but not the official one. This was the real log. I started reading. October 12th. The rattling in the card is getting louder. I think it knows I have the key. October 15th. I saw the doctor tonight. He isn't human. He wears a coat, but underneath, it's just moving parts. Clockwork and meat. October 20th. I found out what they do with the residents. It's not a nursing home, it's a farm. Saint Avelina isn't a saint. She's a feeder. My blood ran cold. A farm? I flipped to the last entry. The handwriting was barely legible. Jagged. Panicked. October 31st. I broke Rule 6. I went to the basement without an invitation. I saw the machine. I saw where the old people go to become young again. But they saw me too. If you find this, burn the place down. Don't try to leave, just burn it. Burn it down. Thomas didn't clock out. Thomas didn't quit. Thomas died here. I looked up. The monitors were glitching. All of them turned to static. Except one. Cam 09. The basement corridor. There he was. The doctor. He wasn't moving. He was standing perfectly still, facing the camera. Like he knew I was watching. He held something up to the lens. It was a badge. An ID card. It had a picture of a smiling young man. It said, Thomas. Night security. He crushed it. And then, he pointed. Up. He pointed at the ceiling. The vents. I barricaded the door. But, I forgot the vents. Rule 5 applies everywhere. They like to crawl. I screamed. I grabbed the lighter from my pocket. Thomas said to burn it, right? And I grabbed a can of aerosol air freshener from the desk. Improvised flamethrower. I didn't think. I just fired. The thing retreated, screeching like a wounded banshee. But now, the fire alarm was blaring. And the sprinklers. The sprinklers didn't turn on. No water. Just gas. Red, odorless gas. Knockout gas. They wanted me alive. My vision blurred. The last thing I saw before I blacked out was the monitor. The doctor was at the door of the security office. And he had a key. I woke up to the smell of antiseptic and ozone. My head felt like it had been split open with a wedge. I tried to lift my hand to touch my face. Clang. Leather straps. Thick, cold, and tight. My vision cleared. And I wished it hadn't. I wasn't in a hospital. I was in a factory. All around me, the residents, Mrs. Gable, Mr. Henderson, the sweet lady from 104. They were floating in tanks filled with amber liquid. Tubes were hooked into their spines. They were being drained. Not of blood, but of time, life. The machine in the center of the room pulsated with golden light, humming with stolen years. Beautiful, isn't it? Voices calm, synthetic. The extraction process. We take the wasted years from the dying and refine them. Distill them. We sell youth, Jack. The most expensive drug in the world. Struggling against straps. You're sick. Let me go. Chuckles. Sound of grinding gears. Let you go? Oh no. You aren't a donor, Jack. You're a vessel. Old bodies can't hold the refined serum. They break. We need young, healthy containers. Like you. He wasn't going to drain me. He was going to fill me. He was going to overwrite my soul with someone else's. I looked around frantically. No weapons. No friends. Just me, the mad doctor, and the control panel. I remembered Thomas's journal. Underneath the coat, it's just moving parts. Clockwork and meat. Clockwork. Magnets. If the doctor was made of metal parts, a strong magnetic field would rip him apart. But the button was too far. I couldn't reach it with my foot. I needed him closer. To doctor. Wait, before you do it, I have to tell you something. The formula, Thomas told me the flaw. Flaw? There is no flaw. Thomas was a fool. He wrote it in the logbook. The one I hid. He said the serum turns sour if the host is afraid. Adrenaline ruins the batch. It was a lie. A desperate, stupid lie.
They were wrong.
But vanity is a universal weakness, even for monsters. Where is the logbook? He was close. Inches away. I didn't answer. Instead, I spat. right into the exposed gears of his neck where the mask had slipped. He stumbled back. Just one step. But that step put him right in front of the MRI coil. And it gave me the second I needed to dislocate my thumb. Pain is clarity. I ripped my hand free, grabbed the doctor's coat, and pulled. He fell forward. I slammed my hand onto the console behind him. I didn't hit the MRI button. I hit the purge button on the pressure tank. No! You fool! Chaos. Pure, beautiful chaos. The pressurized serum exploded outward. It hit the doctor like molten lava. I undid my other straps while he screamed. I dropped to the floor, my thumb throbbing like a second heart. I had to run. The elevator was blocked by the fire. There was only one way out. The disposal chute. It was a slide for dead bodies. It led to the incinerator. Or the sewer. I hoped for the sewer. I looked back one last time. The doctor was trying to stand up, his metal skeleton glowing red hot. Distorted, glitching voice. Jack, you can't leave. The shift isn't over. I quit, I yelled. And I jumped into the darkness.